Alright everybody, so thought I would get together a little something, maybe try to do a little Baldur's Gate 3 action in all this and kind of see how that goes to everybody, see if people like that. I thought I would start just by kind of going through and telling you exactly how I'm going to play through this. This is not an honor mode run. It could be an honor mode run. I've done a couple of those. But I kind of wanted to go through and be able to kind of show some different things, show you what happens if you do this or that, you know, just kind of play around with things a little bit. I also have added a few mods, because I like to play with mods. About 50 or so. Just wanted to kind of quickly go through those. First of all, I got improved UI. It's pretty much mandatory for all these different things I've got going on here. Weightless gold kind of defines itself. Faces of Faerun gives you a lot more faces you can pick for your character. Tori's new character creation presets helps to kind of change the presets of the origin characters. So you can kind of mix them up a little bit and change them up, which you also need appearance edit enhanced and appearance edit origins to help you make those changes. And when you do that, you're going to find that there's some textures that don't quite work. To fix that, you need to get this community library, companions old shaders, companion old shaders textures. A lot of this stuff can be found on the official mod section of the game. Some of you need to go to other places. I tend to use Nexus mods and just do the Baldur's Gate 3 mod manager. It works good for me. Then you got Tab's Hair Salon, Hair Pack, adds a lot more hair options, icon patch. A lot of this is aesthetics really. Again, more faces, another face for Lae'zel. Kind of softens it up just a little bit. Not a whole lot, but I like it. I thought I would play around with this one, the polyamory fix. It's supposed to allow you to do multiple romances at the same time. That way you can see all that too. Again, more clothes, camp clothing options, earring options. Show camp night notification is really good to help you know when to kind of take a long rest. It doesn't always work. I've tried a little bit. It seems like it's kind of off and on, but it's a lot better than not having anything. Kay's hair extensions, again, adds more options for different choices with that. Save Alfira, because this is going to be a Dark Urge run, and I just really don't like having to beat her up to kind of keep her alive. And so we're not going to have to do that. We can just sleep and not worry about it. The mod configuration menu, which kind of helps give you options to adjust some of these mods in-game while you're playing. The loot auto seller, basically when you pick up a lot of just the random little knickknacks, bottles, cups, plates, little stuff that only sells like a gold piece or two, it just goes ahead and sells that for you. So the furniture, some of the like the gems, all the stuff is just sellable. It just kind of speeds up that process. The Awakened Blood of Lathander. I have not used this one before. I'm curious to try it out. It's supposed to make which this might be a little spoilery, but it's supposed to make the Blood of Lathander more of a legendary weapon, so I'm interested in that. Basket camp clothing mods, best boy mod. This one is supposed to make the best boy in the game a little bit tougher, a little bit more able to stick with it. Want to try that out. Choose your own stats is really good if you want to kind of mess around with the stats some, give yourself higher levels of strength or whatever, gold, just, you know, equipment, whatever. I don't really plan on using it this run, but I like to have it in there. Compatibility framework is just in there to kind of help make the other mods work together nicely. Minthara moved. kind of helps move her camp to another spot. Haven't tried this one out yet either, so I'm interested in that. Femstarian mods basically takes a Starian's character, turns him into a girl. It's a personal preference thing. It's nothing against the actor. I think he did a great job. 10 out of 10. It just is what it is. Interesting Origins adds a little bit more flavor to all the origin characters. It's not much, but it does make them feel a little bit more unique. Just a couple little pluses and changes here and there. I like it. It's really interesting. More mage gear, again, just more clothing options, more camp clothes, Ring of Metamorph. I had put this on here originally because I wanted to mess around with changing one of the character's patrons into a different form, but I haven't tried it out yet. We may or may not try. Different horn options for the Tiflin characters, Horns of Farron. Patches for CC races. Again, it just kind of helps make things work together a little better. Sweet Karlach. So this one changes Karlach's body type to a body type 1. And it also changes her from a barbarian to a wild mage sorcerer. Kind of an interesting change. I kind of just wanted to try out the different body type and kind of see how that worked. Transmog Enhanced lets you just change the appearance of equipment. I use it mostly for clothing and armor sets. I want to try to keep something looking a little bit more together. This is the Unearthed Arcana Warcaster mod. It changes the Warcaster feat so that instead of just being able to do a reaction with Shocking Grasp and giving you the concentration buff, it also gives you a +1 that you can give to one of whichever intelligence, wisdom, or charisma. And it's supposed to let you use a reaction with I think any cantrip spell, not just Shocking Grasp. We'll have to see about that. The Weapons Oils mod lets you add all sorts of different bonuses to weapons. Anything from pluses to finesse to spellcasting focus or ability score on the weapon. It's good to have around just when I want to kind of change things just a little bit, especially towards the end. I really haven't done much with it yet, but I am going to do the unlock level curve because I think it's kind of ridiculous that they stopped your leveling up at only 12 when by the end of it with the level curve unlocked, I mean, it is easy to get to 16, 17, 18, and that's without even doubling experience points or anything. Gale's beard fix because we like to fix Gale's beard. And the Celestial Warlock subclass is in here. Not because we're using it this time, just because it somehow got in there and I never bothered getting rid of it. And then the Femstarian mod, to make it complete, you also need to download the audio files. Those are separate. There's one for the spells and combat interactions. There's another one for the actual rest of the conversation voice. You'll need the patches for the VFX heads to make it work the way that I do it. And then trip shaders are just needed for those extra shaders that get missed. If you don't have them in there, they're missing heads and arms and weird stuff. The voice conversion mods, it has several options when you go look at it. And not all of them sound as good as the rest. They're AI generated, and they do have little glitches and things in there. But for the most part, I've tried out A, and I think C was the other one I tried out once. I think they sound pretty good. It's personal preference, but anyway. So there's the mods, and now let's go ahead and get this ball a rolling, shall we? Yeah, let me find it. Where did I drop it? Here we go. There we go. I'm just going to kind of make it a little bit bigger so I can see it a little better. Okay, Baldur's Gate 3. Now it's always good to go into your mod manager and just double check, make sure everything is still clicked and installed like it should be. I don't worry about the mod manager fixes. Honestly, it seems like it messes things up for me sometimes. Okay, everything looks like it's there and all clicked. So let's start us a new game. And for this one, I'm actually going to do custom because I want to have all the honor mode stuff in there, which is a lot of extra actions and legendary actions for a lot of the different boss monsters. But to make this like a tactician run, we need to change stuff up a little bit. So we're going to put all this to tactician. Proficiency bonus stays the same. Critical hits on default. Most of this you just kind of leave it. Camp cost multiplier needs to be up to 2 because tactician it costs 80 for a long rest or your camp supplies. Trader price modifier goes up to 3, and always prompt reactions if there's anything that can react on your turn. I just turn that on. It's easier than going through every character and clicking them all. And a lot of this other stuff is pretty neat. Be fun to play with. You can hide the health of the enemies because, you know, when you're playing real D&D, a lot of times you don't know what their actual hit points are. Hide failed perception rolls. Hide passive rolls in dialogue. Preview dialogue, check difficulty before rolling. You know, if you want to have a better idea what's going to do what. Hide difficulty class during rolling, so you don't even know what you're supposed to roll. That's pretty cool. That is, I'm gonna have to try that at some point. I haven't done a game like that yet, but that looks like a lot of fun. And then if you are not sure about these settings, there's a website for that. And let me show you real quick what that is. Let's see, I gotta remember how to change this. Sources. Here we go. Variant launcher. Mods, downloads. Not that one. Ugh. Wait. Here we go. There it is. Okay. So yeah, if you go to the BG3 wiki and look at the difficulty section, it'll kind of explain all the difficulty modes for you and kind of show you what everything that's changed. But just go down below custom mode and you'll see custom settings corresponding to the standard difficulties. And there you go. You can go Tactician. Tactician would usually be the standard rule set, but we're going to do the Honor Ruleset, like I said. We're not going to do a single file run because that's an Honor mode run. I want to be able to show stuff off. Set everything Tactician. Proficiency bonus should be 0. enemy critical hits on, death saving throws, no death saving throws off. Most of this is default. Disable first strikes. Camp cost multiplier is 2. And trade price modifier is 3. Multi-classing on. Everything else would be off. But always prompt reactions. I mean, that's just kind of a more, it just makes it easier on me. So there you go. So there's that. Alright. So that's the game we're going to play. Let's start it up. I'm also going to do a couple things as well with the characters, because the way that I want to kind of role play this. Oh, here. We can watch this. The beautiful Lae'zel. Now there is some discussion about whether or not this particular Mind Flayer here is someone that you kind of interact with later on in the game. I don't know. It would be cool if it was, though. Ouch. Ugh. Right?
Who are you?
Okay. So, like I was saying, I want to... The way I'm kind of thinking about my particular roleplay with this character, Dark Urge. This is going to be a, I guess a Good Durge run, and I kind of like the idea that he's being pulled to the darkness, but there is a little bit of light that's kind of trying to get at him, trying to tug him back, which is going to kind of be played out with the character classes. And also, it'll let me kind of show off the some special interactions at the Lecter Temple, which honestly I haven't seen myself, so I'm interested in that. And then I do want to do all of the kind of showcase some of the new classes, the patch 8 new classes. So in this particular case, with him, we're going to start with a Hexblade. And as I get the characters, I kind of want to I'll leave them the same through the Nautiloid section, the beginning section, but then after that I want to change them into kind of what I envision them as being for this particular run. Anyway, so in this case we're going to go half elf, because we're going to go half elf, high half elf, so we can get our cantrip. We're going to make that booming blade. because you have to have Booming Blade if you're going to be a Hex Blade. And there's our Celestial, but we're going Hex Blade. And instead of that, I would rather have Friends. There's Friends with Honor mode can be touchy. Because the character's in balanced mode, I don't think it has any negative drawbacks actually, but in Tactician or Honor mode, it does, after about 10 rounds, it wears off and the person realizes that they've been charmed. And then they'll kind of like run back after you or something or whatever. But there are some situations that it can be really useful, especially later on against some particular hard boss fights. You can skip the whole thing if you can just get all your checks, and friendship can really help you out there because it gives you advantage on those rolls. So I like to have it. And then every now and then, you know, if you use it, it's not the end of the world. But we'll talk about that as we go. Spells wise, I'm going to go Shield. Starting out with Shield and Hex. Shield for the defense, obviously. Hex for the additional damage. Background's Haunted One, can't change that. Now, I like to be able to kind of change things up as I go, so I don't start out with odd numbers in my ability scores. Just, you know, because you only get the bonuses at the even numbers anyway. So, you know, play that however you like. Some people don't like to respec. Some don't care. I don't care. It's like 100 gold in game. It's expensive in the beginning, but later on, not a big deal. So, I mean, you do what you want. I mean, this is what I like to do. So, obviously, get your Charisma at 16. I'd bring that Intelligence on down, and I would pump my Dex as well. Just for that extra AC bonus. Con at 14. You know, you can bring your Intelligence down a point and give you 1 extra point for Wisdom. Might help you out with some saves here and there. In this case, I think I am going to do that actually. I'm not too worried about an 8 Intelligence, honestly. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Skills wise, I don't take Deception because the Warlock can take a Pact boon that will give it to you later, so I don't worry about that. Investigation, Nature, Religion, you know, it's really whatever you want. It's not going to make that much of a difference. I'd probably just keep Arcana and History, just the heck of it. Alright, now let's make him look a little better. I'm not feeling that. I like the idea, again, with the roleplay of him, which, you know, it comes out later, kind of what happened to him in a way, not extremely clearly, but you get enough a sense of it. And so, because of what we know happens, I like to start him out. And there's a bunch of different faces here. You don't have near this many choices without all these mods. But I generally like this one. I've kind of just gravitated towards. I found it and I just kind of keep using it. So that's what we're doing. Let's see. I prefer the blush tones usually. Again, it's just personal preference. No tattoos. Let me try out some green eyes. Hair. I do generally go more black brown. I don't know. I mean, this is like a dark blue, but it's called Black Raven. I don't get it, but there it is. You do black neutral. I kind of like the black. I think the black brown looks a little more natural. But anyway. But because of what happened to him, and again, here's all the different hair choices. I mean, gobs and gobs and gobs of choices. I like him looking disheveled to start out with. So we're going with that. The long scraggly hair. And we're going to give him a little bit of a scruffy face. There we go. Alright, we're ready. Now we just need a name. And for this one, we're going to go with Caladan. Kind of been using that lately. I like it.
You need a guardian. Choose one.
What will Guardian do? Will she guard you? Or will he guard you? You can make your Guardian. I don't think Drow works too well. You can just leave it. It doesn't matter a whole lot. But I tend to just choose Elf because he's a half elf. So I don't know, it makes more sense to me. And you can go through. You can customize this one up as much as you want. I mean, you can make it a man. You can make it a big woman. Make it a big man. Whatever you like. I don't know. It doesn't make all that much difference, really. So we'll just pick that and go with it. Ooh. What happened to that mind flayer? So interestingly enough, I read somewhere this is not Baldur's Gate. This is supposed to be some other city, like I think just to the north. I can't remember the name of it. But you're supposed to be able to tell by the symbols on their coats and their uniforms. And the fact that the city, it just doesn't actually look anything like it other than it looks like, you know, a city, but it's on both sides of a river. He grabbed his arm there, the Mind Flayer did. I wonder if he was like supposed to be able to have felt that get ripped off, that tentacle. I don't know. You know, I need to do a Lae'zel run because if it, I mean it. Yeah, welcome to hell. Because if it wasn't for the Dark Urge character in the tag, I mean, it looks like Lae'zel's the main character of the story. It's a lot of imps. It's gonna be fun taking time to actually listen to everything. I haven't listened to everything because I kind of skipped through a lot of stuff anymore.
The blood in your head thrums and pounds. That pounding blood obscures who you are. An overwhelming loss of memory. How you ended up amidst these hellish flames is just as hidden. You have nothing in your skull, besides your name and a headache. But you are in danger.
Take a deep breath. Shake your head. Figure this out.
Time to get out of here. And then you can shed light on the dark of the matter of yourself.
My head.
So that little pouch there, that is your auto looter. Now, as you can read there, you drag and drop things into it that it doesn't already have on its list, which if you click into, let me see, how does it work here again? To list unmixable items, open the bag to edit your list, remove any item from the bag in edit mode, or remove it from the list and save it. The list is saved once you close the bag. Hit the bag on the ground to start configuring the mod. Okay. And this is the choose your own stats mod, which we can drink it real quick if you want to see it, if you're interested. And then that allows you to pick everything, which I think if you go to common maybe? I don't remember. There you go. So yeah, all these things do, I mean, you can add fighter abilities and paladin powers, and you can change all your stats, and you can add extra attacks. I mean, you can do all kinds of crap with it. You know, and I've played around with it a little bit, and I mostly for stats is what I've used it for. For some reason, this icon is not showing up right, but whatever. And then when you're done, there you go. We're not going to use it this time. Okay, let's go back to here now. But to start, we need to bind our little teeny weeny dagger, because that's what we got. Which actually isn't going to help much because it's a finesse weapon, but we're going to bind it anyway, because that's what we do. Now, there's also a couple other mods I have on here that weren't in the load order, because they you actually have to load them in a different way. You just drag and drop them into certain folders, and that is the camera mod, which allows me to free range with the camera, so I can look all around and really get up in those nose hairs. Oh my, that's scary. There's a reason probably why they didn't want you to do that, but whatever. And then there's the WASD keys. So instead of having to click everywhere, I can actually just use my WASD. and I can move them around like I would, any other game, which I'll usually use most of the time. And start out, there's your basket full of equipment. Has a lot of the different clothing options, and there's also a lot of items in there, like that do different spells and give you feather fall and all kinds of stuff. We're not going to use much of that though, because that
Might be useful.
kind of feels a little much. We are going to pick up a couple things. See, there you go. Item received, gold. They just gave me the gold.
Visions project into your mind. An Nautiloid hurtling through the plains, resplendent with psionic energy.
Can we pick that up? We can. Now, to make the WASD work, you have to kind of mess around with the keybinds a little bit. Go to your keybinds, and you got to change the camera rotation keys a little bit here. I've already done it. You just figure it out. You basically like A and I think it's A and Q get switched, and E and D. It's like to make it work well, which is no big deal. Now, the other keybind I also have to do with the camera mod is once you've used it, you can't use the middle button anymore to have the other options to pick something up or lock pick or anything like that. So what I normally do is I'll go in here and I'll find, where is it at? I think I've skipped over it. I'll find that interaction, not the grave key. Oh, there it is, comma. Context menu. So I'll make that my comma key, because the comma key doesn't do anything in this game. And then I always get rid of my quick load button, because when I first started playing this, there were several times I went to quick save, and instead of hitting F5, I was hitting F8. And it just screwed me up. So I just got rid of that. I'm fine with quick saving. You can quick save anytime you want. Quick loading is a different story. Anyway, so that's what I like to do with my keybinds. Let's do borderless window. Let's make this look pretty. There we go. Another thing for when you're doing mods with like the different facial animations, if you're replacing heads and different things like that, a lot of them do require a high level of animation detail and something. So even if you set everything to medium, that one needs to be high. And I think even the model quality maybe not that one, but at least level animation I think has to be high. It's one of them, but I mean, and they talk about that in the mods too. They kind of explain all that. Okay, anyway. Real quick, let me make sure I'm still recording good. Okay, looks like it. I need to get a second screen. Alright, moving on. Let's go down here. Sometimes I do just click, because it is easier sometimes. You can hold down the Alt key, kind of highlight everything.
Dead. Good.
So that gem did not instantly, or it did. It did sell, actually. It did go in the All Looter and sell. Edit mode enabled. I can't remember. Whatever. I do remember if there's additional stuff you want to sell that you not have to worry about picking up, you just throw it in there. And it might be auto. Yeah, here we go. Auto loot seller. This is where you can kind of change things up a little bit. The percentage that it sells for and different things. I just kind of leave it alone, honestly. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I'm sure it's not perfect, but it's fine. It's about right. It feels right anyway. Get a little gold.
Images of goblins, their habits and histories flash into your mind.
I'm going to pick that up. Get a couple gold from that. Ooh, do you hear that? Someone's asking for help. Oh, it looks like this poor man has been strapped to a chair. How brutal.
Yes, you've come to save us from this place. From this place, you'll free us.
The exposed brain quivers in expectation.
Please. Before they return. They return.
Dr. Lecter, Dr. Lecter. Paging Dr. Lecter. Who am I talking to? A man or a brain?
A newborn. Born new from this husk.
You know no creature like this. One that is more brain than person.
I think you're past the point of saving. Tell me what to do.
Remove us from this body. From this case. Free us. Please.
Why not? I'm curious. I'm curious, man. This is a curious situation. I love my gold dice.
You notice edema, a swelling of the brain causing pressure where it strains against the shell of the skull.
So, you can do that investigate check, and if you get it, then it'll give you the option to do a medicine and attempt a cerebral extraction. So you know, for the urge, that can be a really good one, especially if you got a high wisdom score or something like that, because it gives you an advantage on the roll. Whereas it's just a straight dex or strength roll otherwise. Now, for me personally, if I'm doing an honor mode run, this can end an honor mode run because I want my little mind flayer brain buddy guy with me. What is he again? He's a I totally left my mind all of a sudden. Alright, rolling with advantage. +3. Let's see what happens. There we go. That's what we like. Success.
The brain lifts from the skull. But you notice an opportunity. You could cripple the strange creature, making it more subservient should it prove a threat.
Don't do
Your
that.
fingers twitch with the desire to rip its tender, moist meat to shreds.
A little crazy. No, do not do that. Spare him any injuries. I know, there's tentacles, there's claws.
Our freedom is ours, friend.
But sometimes it just looks like a little puppy dog.
Listening. Something behind your eyes seizes in recognition.
We must go to the helm. At the helm, we are needed.
At the helm we are needed. Okay, what's at the helm?
The brain tenses as though querying an unseen advisor.
Do you not hear it? We will not survive here. We are needed to navigate. We are needed to leave this realm.
All right. I'll go, but not with you. Now that's just rude. What should I call you?
Us. We are us.
Simple, direct, to the point. One syllable. I like it. All right, let's
To
go.
the helm we go. We are going to the helm.
Off to the helm we go. Off to the helm we go. We're going to the helm, the helm, the helm, the helm, the helm we go. The helm to the helm we go. Now the reason this could end in Honor Road for me is that there's a point later on where he kind of gets an upgrade, and I just like it. I just like having him around for some reason. Oh boy, more dragons. Now this is the reason that I like this camera mode so much, because there's camera mod, because you can't do this in the regular game. In the regular game, your perspective is like this, pretty much. And you can zoom in some, but you can't do this. You know, you can't. There's so much detail going on in this place. And they put such hard work into it. I want to be able to appreciate it. Anyway. She didn't go far. What an entrance.
This is your end. Your head throbs and your skin tingles. Visions rush past. A dragon's wing, a silver sword, and a flash of your face seen through the strange woman's eyes.
Oh, my head. What is this? Skvar, you are no thrall. Blackith blesses me this day. Together, we might survive.
What made you think I was a thrall?
We carry mind flayer parasites. Unless we escape, unless we are cleansed, our bodies and minds will be tainted and twisted. Within days, we will be Geich, mind flayers.
Returning to mind flayers? There must be something we can do.
We can do nothing until we escape. That must be our priority. First, we exterminate the imps. Then we find the helm and take control of the ship. As for that thing, it will remain tame as long as it believes we are thralls. It may be of use in the fight to come.
Now that is something wrong. I don't know. Because it should throw his head back and you see his face with the glowing eyes and everything. But I don't know if it's the mods I've got on or if it's a glitch that they haven't fixed yet. But whatever. Alright, let's do this. Let's throw up a hex, get some more damage going. Do the guy in the back. Take some Eldritch Blast.
Done.
Oh, yes. That's what we're talking about. let's let us. What is he? Dagnabbit? It's not a mind flayer, obviously. It's a intellect devourer. That's what it's called. Intellect devourer. 100% chance. So the game is nice that it kind of gives you an idea how what your chance is actually hitting something. So with the sword, she has a 95% chance of hitting it. If I'd rather shoot it with an arrow, it's only 85%. And then you can hit escape, or you can do that little X down there. Yeah, we'll just run up and bash it.
No failure.
Good hit. Still got a little bit of movement. We'll run her over there. Don't attack my little buddy. There we go.
You proved surprisingly adequate in battle.
Yeah,
Now, to the Helm.
that's right. Run around, pick up some stuff.
Traps, please.
A scimitar, an axe. Crossbow. More gold. Potion. This thing actually fully restores you like a long rest. Now, I used one spell slot, and no one took any damage, so, I mean...
I feel better.
The good thing is, I'm concentrating on Hex right now, which means I can recast it, as long as I'm still concentrating. So, now I've got my spell slot back. I still got Hex.
Be able to take another dragon attack. We need to get out before it's too late.
Now, let's get rid of this dagger, and let's do a scimitar. And since we don't have a shield, we might as well put that in there. And we'll go ahead and get ourselves a crossbow. And we're going to give this to Lae'zel. She has a short bow, but it doesn't do quite as much damage. It's 2 to 7 versus 2 to 9. So, crossbow's a little better.
Is that
And,
blood?
alright.
No, never mind.
Oh yeah, someone had a short sword. There we go. That's better.
Seems simple enough.
Ghaik machinery. I can make no sense of it.
Well. Somebody's over there. So you can look at it.
Unleash.
Unleash.
Can't read this script.
Can't read it.
Psionic energy radiates from the prisoners. They do not react.
Machine made them hostile.
So the second one makes them attack. Gives you a little more experience, basically. And this is what you need to get used to. You hex your target, and then you Eldritch Blast them. Rinse and repeat. Oh, he missed. my little guy. Now, if you're in a situation where you can't quite make it, because you can only go as far as that white line will go there. Once it gets into the red, you can't run that much further. But you can usually jump a little bit further than you can run. Now that he's dead, I can reapply my Hex as long as I'm concentrating. Now she's in there trying to get out, but we're going to pick up a couple things first. That, and I'm going to pick that up.
Down foot in my back.
You! Get me out of this captain!
We have no time for stragglers.
Now, there's a few interactions. If you're an arcane character, you kind of get this same prompt here. There's magic at work. Determine what kind. Or if you're a barbarian, it gives you an option just to rip the lid off. But anyway, so let's see if we can figure this out. There we go.
Warding runes. You feel them drawing energy from the console near to the pod.
Are you satisfied? We need to go.
This thing's magically linked to that console. Let me see what I can do.
Hurry! Please!
Here we go.
The console appears dormant.
But I'm a warlock, so and I've already finished that other thing, so I'm going to inscribe the device with the glyphs.
The console hums to life.
Yeah. It's my command. Let's see if we can take a closer look at it. Not quite.
Nothing in the appearance of the device betrays its purpose. It could do anything.
It could do anything. It could even open a pod.
Suddenly, you feel a hideous squirming in your head. The parasite. Then discomfort fades, and another sensation washes over you. Connection. Authority.
Command it to open. Anything but a 1, basically.
You feel the biomechanical brain of the console process your command and yield to it. A shiver runs across your mind. You feel sated.
At last. Thought I was done for. I thought that damn thing was going to be my coffin. Thank you.
Your mind lurches into her thoughts. Her gratitude is mixed with wariness, because you have a gift with you.
You keep dangerous company.
Dangerous company is what you need in a fight.
Fair point. Looks like there's plenty of fighting ahead. Let me come with you. We can get off this ship and watch each other's backs along the way.
Alright then, let's get going.
Shadow
Paladin.
Mount. One moment.
What's that?
It's nothing. Trust me.
Enough of this chatter. We need to get to the Helm. Now.
She's right. Lead on.
Alright. weird shaped decahedron-like thing in a D&D game. I'm sure there's nothing important about it at all.
How many hosts of these gay infected?
Dazed woman is trapped inside the pod. She doesn't notice you.
Brain in a jar.
Brain in a jar. Interesting. So this is kind of like what they call the tutorial chest. Usually a lot of stuff that they just put in there for the mods will kind of show up here for you to pick up. But I don't have high strength score, so that kind of loads me down. There we go. And that Mage's pack tends to be pretty heavy for some reason. Not entirely sure why.
This might unlock those controls next to the plot.
So yeah, this guy here, if you weren't able to open the pod any other way, has a little rune thing here. That's what you use to open the pod and let Shadowheart out. You just take it to the console and it can activate it.
Could mean anything.
Could mean anything. Let's try someone
Oh,
else.
enough waiting. I crave blood.
Now, Lae'zel, as a Gith, has this astral knowledge ability. Gain proficiency in all skills of a chosen ability. We want to be sure that she is good with Arcana. Because her normal intelligence check is a 0. Oh. Hold on a second. Let's see if we can read this first.
Mystery, even to me.
She hath failed. Oh, you know what? I forgot. I should have given her guidance. Should have given them all guidance.
Perfect.
Perfect. Okay. Let's see what we're going to perfect.
As you place your hand on the pod, you hear something. A presence connected to the pod, commanding the person inside to change.
Change her. Changed at the pull of a lever. How? If we are not purified, this may be our fate.
Helms, is that going to happen to us?
Hope not.
Let's get going.
Yeah, let's just get out of here.
The newborn mind flayer stares at you, weak and dazed.
Okay. Come over here. Let's pick up some stuff. That key we found laying there.
Another brain.
Faint
Opens
images
that.
appear in your mind. A brain, a Githyanki warrior, and centuries of darkness.
It's good to keep these brains in the jars. You'll have something you can do with them later. Let's go ahead and heal back up. There's another one for some reason. I don't know. You don't need it.
We are nearing the helm. Once inside, do as I say.
Who put you in charge? I'll trust my own judgment.
Cane yank.
Now, before we go into this room, I'd just like to expand that out so I can see it better. You need to go to Shadowheart and look at her spell list, which you bring up your inventory with the I key, look at your spell book. So these are the spells she has ready to go. Shield of Faith, Inflict Wounds, Healing Word, Guiding Bolt, all well and fine. But we're getting rid of Shield of Faith. Instead, we're going to do some fuzz or something just flew by. We're going to do Command, which can allow us to tell an enemy to flee or drop something or whatever. We're going to use that
Can't give up now.
on this guy in here. Okay, let's go. That was rough.
Connect the nerves of the transponder. We must escape. Now.
Do it. We will deal with the gate after we escape.
Connect the nerves. No! We will connect them.
Get out of here. Now.
Now, here's the deal. In this little fight, you got 15 turns to get across this field and hit that thing right there. It's not hard to do. You do have a few more enemies that'll pop up, but excuse me. But they're not tough. So you can go about this scene where you want. I got hiccups. Just be sure to throw your hex.
Malady materials.
Can I blast him from here?
Done.
I can't.
Don't waste a step.
Nah, he cut through that mind flare pretty quick with that sword.
I am fury. I am
That's why I was
death.
going to try to take it.
On the move. Ready.
Alright, Shadowheart.
Onward.
Do your magic. And you got 2 chances to do this, because she only has 2 level 1 spell slots, which means she can cast 2 spells a day. With her level 1 spells. So we go command. We don't want to approach, we want him to drop. %, chance. Alright, he saved that one. Just kind of pick up some stuff.
Have to keep going.
Don't have much else to do right now, so we'll just shoot him. We missed.
Ignore the devil. We must take the transponder.
We'll go ahead and run him up, just to have him in place for when the other ones come. Now you gotta be careful when you run by an enemy. There we go. So that means that he's going to attack my guy when he runs past. So when you're kind of measuring this out, make sure it's somewhere where that doesn't show up.
100%.
Yeah, Lae'zel is going to get some in position here. And this is real easy. It took me a little bit to learn how to do it, but all you gotta do is just click it and drag it. I'm gonna cast Mage Hand.
Open up. Can't give up.
Alright, Shallheart, one more try, come on. Alright, there we go.
Moving.
Open up.
He's encumbered, so we just move. Give something to someone else. We'll do Shadowheart.
Hurry! Before they strike!
Now can't attack, but can go ahead and exit.
Take exit.
See a lot less damage. So he'll hold out a little bit longer now. That's just another bonus. We'll put him over there instead.
Time to strike. Taking a look.
Missed.
Talk to me.
Alright. Try out our Firebolt, which does 80% chance to hit. Our Sacred Flame is 65, so we're going with Firebolt. There we go. Now our little Mage Hand guy is going to just kind of move stuff on up for us. In case you haven't figured it out by now, these things go boom boom. And we're gonna put them right over here so we get a chance to get ourselves a little bit of juicy Mind Flayer experience here in a little bit. And we need to get this sword moved. Which I'm out of movement space. For a long time, I would actually run over and pick it up. It never occurred to me just to move the stupid thing. But
If
whatever.
this ship hits the ground, we're dead.
Done.
And then going over and pick it up. And hang on to that. Oh yeah, I need to drop that tank. Almost forgot. That's the whole reason we picked it up. There we go. And so we used our action to attack, so we still have a bonus action. So let's just go ahead and hex that guy over there. I'll get rid of it.
Spine is mine.
Swift and lethal. What lies within?
Can't reach it. Ah,
Need
missed.
to stay focused. Have to
You need to
keep
stay
going.
close enough to throw a firebolt. There we go. Now just move that up just a touch. All right. You can go over there and keep him busy. And there's his buddies. Now there are some people
I hope.
that have figured out how to take him out with his two buddies and the Mind Flayer, all on Tactician honor mode. That ain't me. I am happy enough just taking out the Mind Flayer. So what we will do is we'll just get close enough here.
Forward, Istik, before more dragons.
Let these explosives away. Avernus is ours.
All right. Go ahead and put him forward a little bit so he doesn't get targeted by anybody. So the way this is going to work, let's see, Lazelle.
Swift and lethal.
Might have Lazelle. Yeah, she's close enough. Okay.
Make way.
So he's only got 27 hit points left. I think this will take him out.
I'm ready.
I mean, the other option is to wait. Yeah, let's wait around.
Time
We'll
to
wait one
strike.
round. We'll see if I can do just a little bit more damage on him. Just to make sure.
Come a little closer.
And here come his buddies.
Take this ship. The Dariel will have your head.
There we go. Oh yeah, now we got it. Okay, so now we
Should I do?
go to Shadowheart, and we start a fire. And there we go. 75 experience points. And now we let Lae'zel get us out of here. See, the thing about him, I don't know how they do it. I haven't paid close enough attention to it, but he takes half damage from all my weapons. I mean, he takes full force damage. I mean, I guess maybe if you have a wizard or, I don't know, a paladin or something, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, let's get out of here.
The Helm's alien transponder. You've made it in time.
You know, she's a Gith. She knows what she's doing with this stuff. Anyway. There we go. A little foreshadowing to some people.
We need each other, and we both know what's at stake. Can't think of better company.
You know, I was ready to go this alone, but maybe sticking with the Herald isn't such a bad idea.
Hello. I'm Gale of Waterdeep. Apologies. Usually better at this.
You have made an ally from Kresh Kalir. Few know such fortune. Call me Lae'zel.
Damnable roach! Provoke the blade and suffer its sting.